Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's broadcast of your Highland Park Gold versus the Plano Wildcats. Both teams come in the thick of the playoff hunt, ranked 3 and 4 respectively in their division. This game tonight will have playoff implications, both traveling or staying at home in the weekend. So I expect both teams to come out, have a hard-fought battle. Spencer Woolery will be out to take your face tonight. Davis Buckroyd on the near side, and John McHugh, your far side wing. Starting defense will be Thompson Brainer, Luke Rudder, and Hutch Brooker, with Stephen Head in goal. Up top is Miller Merritt, Andrew Gerstenhaber, and Woods Harbison. Looks like we're waiting on a few last-minute details on the goal here in the north end of the field. They're resecuring there the corner of the goal. As soon as they get that underway, play will commence, and it looks like we're all squared away here. Spencer Woolery with the win. Successfully cleared over midfield. Out of the box comes Benton Gordon on the far right-hand side. Working through X. That's Corbin Gray. And Grady Gearing, your offensive middies to start the game. Plano comes out in a man-to-man. Grady Gearing coming down, has a shot and stings the top right corner. First goal of the game, unassisted, 38, Grady Gearing.
Highland Park goal, that was number 38, Grady Gearing.
So good start for Highland Park. First offensive possession, Grady's able to get a step on his man down the alley and put a nice shot on the top far right corner of the goalie there. Spencer Woolery out to take the face. JJ, your short winger. And John McHugh on the far side. That's Plano pushing it, goes out the front door. It's shot just over the goal. So good face-off win there by Plano, able to win it forward. Had a lot of green space in front of them and just shot it just over the top of the goal. Plano's first offensive possession of the night here. That's John McHugh out to guard the ball. Plano showing good patience here, working it around, starting to test the defense in the different matchups. Davis Buckroyd out. Pressing out far from the goal, picking up the ball. That's John McHugh. Holding up well there. Here's JJ out to press out. Shot, bounce shot just wide of the goal, so no shot clock reset. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Plano chooses to dump it and set up their ride. Highland Park ball, so excellent first start for Highland Park. Stephen Head over to Davis Buckroyd, successfully over the midfield for their first clear of the game. That's Benton Gordon, number 9, with the ball. Corbin Gray, number 5. Andrew Gerstenhaber, our captain. Back to Grady. So first line middies in again. Working to get set. Corbin Gray down the alley with the shot just wide. Back up. Miller Merritt. Miller brings it in. Miller working up the left side there. Swings it over. That's Woods Harbison going to work on the near side. Spin move. Low shot. Stopped by the goalie.
There you go, Jet.
Went out by Plano. So excellent stop there by the Plano goalie.
Number 17, Jet Coker on the chase.
Woods put a good low shot in there through traffic, and the Plano goalie was able to track that all the way in and made a nice save, and Plano wins the run out there to award their team with their second offensive possession. Hayes Hammock, number 8, short stick defensive midi, coming in for his second game of the year. Good to see Hayes back out there. J.D. Pierce checking in as the LSM out to pick up the ball. Shot and goal.
Number 22, Hudson Teeman on the Plano Wildcats goal, assisted by number 7, J.D. Ward.
So that was Hudson Teeman there with a nice bounce shot, about 14 yards. Highland Park just gave him a little bit too much space, and he stepped into it with a nice, good, hard shot on the stick side of Stephen Head, who was unable to catch up to it. So we're all knotted up here at 1 minute to go. Spencer Woolery to take the face.
The score is now all tied up, 1-1.
Both teams have been patient here to start the game. Highland Park's been slow to get their substitution package in. Both offensive possessions, but they're in and they're going to work now. That's Woods Harbison on the near side, up to Corbin Gray. He's going to move it to Benton Gordon. Benton with the big alley dodge down the right, down to Miller Merritt. Comes back up on top. Andrew Gerstenhaber. Down to Miller. Woods Harbison has got some space to operate. Sends a pass into the middle. Could not connect. That was Grady Gearing that was trying to link up with. A ground ball by Miller Merritt. The shot clock is at 80. It's not moving. It's now at 77, so they must have reset the shot clock there somewhere along the lines. Benton Gordon is going to have a shot. It's going to go wide. And Highland Park wins the race out there. That was close. That's the second time that Highland Park has almost lost a run out, something that they're going to have to correct if they're going to want to stay in this game with Plano. Here's Corbin working on the outside. Slide comes. Pass into Miller Merritt and the goal. So
Highland Park goal, that was number 3, Miller Merritt.
So Corbin Gray made a really nice dodge down the right side and drew his slide, and Miller followed the slide right behind it, and Corbin was able to dump just right behind him, and Miller finished it off. So 2-1 Highland Park. Looks like Plano won the clamp. Ball is up. J.D. Pierce is in. It's a live ball now. Picked up by Stephen Head. Up to J.J. successfully cleared. There's a pole. J.D. Pierce with a shot. They say Plano backed that one up. So far 3 shots, and Plano has won the race out on 2 of them and almost won the 3rd. So again, the failure to win those runouts on the end line is costing Highland Park possessions, something that they're going to need in this game. Here comes Anthony Dewhurst, 15, checking in for the first time in the ball game tonight, along with 21 Thomas Kaufman and 25 Henry Leinart. So second line middies in for the Highland Park Scots. Henry's going to have a go down the alley, sends it down to Miller. Miller's working back up top, probes the inside. Plano shuts that down with 2 defenders. Here's Anthony working on the right-hand side through the middle. Ball is down. Plano with a good stick check there by the short stick defensive midi who motors into the offensive zone. So good play by the Plano Wildcats there. And they are back in business operating on the offensive zone. He's into the middle. Good stick there by Thompson Brainer, able to deflect that shot. That was a good offensive possession for Plano. They definitely got the look that they wanted, just unable to get it to the goal through the traffic. Thompson Brainer moves it over midfield and then circles back, and Thomas Kaufman comes up and replaces him in the offensive zone. Here's Woods working up the right side. Dancing to the right. Anthony's got room on the right. A lot of real estate to dodge. Puts his shoulder down, moves it into Miller. Ball is down. A low pass there by Anthony. Miller unable to grab that short hop in the traffic. And the second turnover of the game for Highland Park Scots. That's John McHugh, causing all sorts of havoc there at the midfield line, but Plano's able to pick up that ground ball. Pick coming. That's a switch with Luke Rutter picking up the ball. John McHugh out at the 30-yard line. Hayes Hammock on the far side. Gets inside and puts one in the goal. That's 2-2. Plano and Highland Park.
Plano Wildcats goal is number 24, Nick Nero.
So Nick Nero was able to make a nice dodge on Hayes and dip his shoulder onto the underneath side. And Highland Park was a little late to slide there. And
That ties the game up 2 apiece.
was able to put a really nice shot on the top right corner of the goal. So 2-2. Right now, the story of the game is the turnovers and lack of runouts has given Plano 4 possessions so far. Spencer Woolery wins it going forward. Over to Woods. Plano does a good job to stop the fast break, forces Woods backwards, and the first line middies are coming in. That is Corbin Gray with the ball. Grady Gearing and Benton Gordon. Corbin looking to get to his right hand. Shoots it on just the side of the net. It's a low shot. Was looking to get his right hand free and got it free. And Missed the goal there just by about a foot wide. Plano moves it back into their offensive zone. So Highland Park was able to get 2 of their offensive middies off. And Benton Gordon stayed on as their... There is Thompson Brainer, number 11, pushing that ball forward, and she gets ridden out of bounds there at the 47-yard line. Turnover, 3rd turnover of the game for Highland Park Scots. And Plano is back in business on the offensive side.
1 minute to play in the quarter.
Big shot there through the middle. Stephen Head with a nice save and outlet to Luke Rudder. Pushes it up safely up to the attackman. Highland Park's going to go for some early offense here. Miller circling in. It looks like they'll settle it down for perhaps the last possession of the quarter. About 27 seconds left. Shot clock is of no relevance. Here's Grady Gearing, gets a step on his man again. Shoots it just high over the top. So very reminiscent of the first play of the game there where Grady was able to get down the left hash. Able to do it again. This time just sends it high. Here's Woods working up the right side. He's got a step coming into the middle. Gets tied up. The referee grabs his flag, goes to throw it, decides not to, and calls a hold instead. Thought the ref was going to maybe call his flag there. He definitely pulled it out of his pocket and made a throwing motion, but held on to it. 6.3 seconds left to go. Here's Corbin Gray, sends it out. Two seconds left. Benton's going to have it. Heave, puts a shot on the goal and just missed.
At the end of the first quarter, your score is 2 apiece.
So it's 2-2 here at the end of the first, and we'll be out for a 50-second break, and we'll be back after that. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are moments away from the second quarter here. Highland Park 2, Plano 2. The story of the game so far has been for Highland Park has been their turnovers and lack of run-out. We've had 3 turnovers and 2 run-outs that we've lost to Plano, resulting in 5 additional possessions for the Plano Wildcats. And on the defensive side, the Highland Park Scots have held up well. Stephen Head has looked good at times, certainly has had a couple of great saves, and the Wildcats have just been able to get inside just a couple of times, and that has cost the Scots 1 goal and another good look, and of course they had 1 big step down shot from about 15 yards as well. So Spencer Woolery out to take the face. Even clamp there. Scrum in the middle of the field. Plano's got a beat on it. Good job by Spencer Woolery there with a good check. He's getting pinned against the sidelines, able to get out safely to Davis Buckroyd. Sends it down to Miller Merritt. And Highland Park is in business for the first offensive possession of the second quarter. That's Corbin Gray. Moving into the middle, the slide comes. Grady Gearing with a nice catch and a shot. Bounce shot over the top. Gersten, no, that's Miller Merritt back there with the backup. Able to catch the ball and keep it in bounds. And Benton Gordon, big right-handed alley dodge and puts one in the right-hand corner there just above the goalie's stick.
Highland Park goal, that was number 9, Benton Gordon.
So Benton got the unassisted goal there. Miller moved it up to him and then cleared out of the room, cleared out some space there, and Benton was able to take advantage of that with a good alley dodge down the right hash with a good high shot on the goalie. And it's 3-2, Highland Park. Spencer Woolery. Plano. So Spencer Woolery lost that face-off, and the Plano face-off man was moving in, and good slide there by Thompson Brano was able to lock him up, and was able to dislodge him and the ball. The fans here wanted a flag. The referees declined to throw it. Pretty good clean. That should be over and back there. Miller picks it up. So just like basketball, once you have established the offensive possession in the offensive zone, you cannot pass it back over midfield, which of course is the 50. So Plano there with that mishandle. The ball went back over the 50, so it's over and back. And ball awarded to the Scotties. That's Henry Leinart on the far side with the ball. Moving it to Anthony Dewhurst. Dodging into the middle, swim dodge back to the side, bounce shot in. Shot and goal by 15, Anthony Dewhurst.
Highland Park goal, that was number 15, Anthony Dewhurst.
So we've had a number of goals here. We've had 4 so far for the Highland Park Scots. 3 of them have come unassisted on alley dodges. There we've got Anthony Dewhurst and Gearing and Benton Gordon. And of course we had the 1 assisted goal where Corbin Gray gave it to Miller Merritt. So far, the Highland Park Scots have found something with these alley dodges and their midfielders attacking the short sticks that they like. We'll have to see on the adjustments that Plano makes. Whether they start to play that a little differently or whether Highland Park continues to attack those short sticks on the alley dodges. Here's an alley dodge coming here on the short stick. Grady gets a step on him. Across the court to Miller and goes in. So excellent play there. That was Grady Gearing coming down and assisting it to number 3, Miller Merritt.
It was number 3, Miller Merritt on the Highland Park goal, his second of the evening.
So, again, we had a big alley dodge, and Plano, we were just talking about that Plano had given up a couple of goals there on those alley dodges, and so they slid pretty quickly there, and Grady was able to make a really nice cross-field feed to Miller Merritt. So there was an adjustment made by Plano on a quicker slide, and an adjustment made by Grady Gearing on the fly to find the open man. So big scrum here. Midfield, John McHugh has had a beat on it. That looks like that's going to be a hold on Plano. John was going to pick up the ball, and the Plano player was just holding his stick a little bit. Referee said it was a little too much and awards the ball to the Highland Park Scotties. First line midfield in for the Scots. Corbin Gray on the far side. Grady Gearing clearing out. Into the middle. Shot is wide. Backup is Woods Harbison, number 6. So better job on the backup for the Highland Park Scots as well on that one. Here's Corbin Gray coming down the right-hand side, moving it down to Miller. Miller's going to work back up to his left. Miller, of course, a natural left-hander. Likes to work both up and down that left-hand hash. Grady Gearing's been causing a lot of trouble for Plano, working on that far side with the spin. Here's Andrew Gerstenhaber. He's going to get his hands free, I think. Good job by Plano there. Good recovery. Unable to get that shot was Andrew. Here's a big dodge by Corbin. Spin shot and good stop by the Plano goalie.
Saved by number 52, Jake Nero.
So the goalie, Jake Nero, has made a number of good saves tonight for Plano. Is definitely doing his job keeping the Wildcats in this game. It's 5-2. This is the first offensive possession of the second quarter for the Wildcats. Excuse me, I believe it's maybe the second possession. The first one was an over and back. That's JD on the far side. Davis Buckroyd out to meet him. Spins it. Big shot. Stephen Head was on that, tracked it well. Shot bounces harmlessly out of bounds. 30 seconds left to go on the shot clock for the Scotties. Oh, good cut there. Number 8 found 24 on a cut on the inside.
Plano Wildcats goal. That was number 24, Nick Nero, assisted by number 8, Luke Kennedy.
So that was an excellent feed there. Luke Kennedy, number 8, was working on the right side and was able to find a diagonal pass. Really nifty little pass and good handle and a finish for the Plano Wildcats. So we are 3-5. Spencer with the win out the front. Woods Harbison down to Andrew Gerstenhaber, who's unable to find any space there on the shot. Good job by Plano to force the Highland Park Scots backwards on that. Looked like maybe they were going to have a fast break opportunity. Miller Merritt with the ball. Thomas Kaufman now up top. Looks like he's going to alley dodge the short stick. He gets a step on him. He's going to have a shot, and he puts it in top right for their 4th alley dodge goal of the game. The Highland Park Scots continue to attack the short sticks there. That time it was Thomas Kaufman, number 21.
Highland Park goal. That was number 21, Thomas Kaufman.
Highland Park responds well there. Plano had cut the lead to 2. And Highland Park able to respond to push it back up to 3. It looks like this is going to be an offensive back-and-forth battle tonight with both teams showing capable offense. Plano moves quickly into the midfield, shoots it. Bounce shot is wide. Stephen Head gives chase. Plano just beats him out by a nose. Triple teamed. Ball is down. And that is Davis Buckroyd who have it for a second. Now it's Thompson Brainer, number 11, moving up the field. Nice little dodge move. Flag is down. That's going to be offsides. So the Plano is going to come, and Plano now has 7 defenders versus 6 offensive players for Plano there. So once the flag was thrown for Plano for stepping offsides, at that point, as long as it's the same player who comes back over offsides, there's not another flag. So at that point, that player will come into the defensive side, and there'll be a 7-on-6. We've talked about this a couple of times. There's two ways to play this. You can either double the ball, which the fans are calling for, or you can have a center rover. And number 0 there is your center rover in the middle. And Benton Gordon does a alley dodge and a high shot there. Good stop by the Plano Wildcats. And we'll have our first flag and our first penalty of the game. Highland Park's going to send their man-up unit on.
Saved by Jake Hero. Highland Park will be man up after the offsides penalty.
So I believe it's just a 30-second technical offsides, but I did not see the referee there, so we'll keep an eye on it, whether it's 30 or a minute. Of course, fresh 80 shot clock for the Highland Park Scots. The wheels coming around. There's a shot by Grady Gearing, our lefty, from 10 yards. Good assist for Corbin Gray, his second assist. So that was Corbin Gray to Grady Gearing for the goal.
Highland Park goal, that was number 38, Grady Gearing.
Grady's second goal of the game and Corbin Gray's second assist on the game. So Corbin hasn't found the back of the net yet, has shot it a couple, 3 or 4 times, but is making big dividends on the field in other ways with his second. Really pretty assist of the game. So we're back to full strength for Plano. Spencer Woolery wins it going forward. High pop doesn't allow him to push transition, but does get it safely to JJ, who bobbles it, so not so safely. And Plano opportunistically picks up the loose ball. Plano checks in their offensive package. Highland Park with their defensive package in. Plano's shown good patience so far throughout the game. They're not in a big rush. They're working to get in their sets. Big shot there by number 22. But they are patiently getting into their sets and aren't forcing bad shots, really working the ball around, looking for their shooters in their own spaces. Offensively seem to be very confident in what they're trying to do. This is JD. There's a screen coming. Inside roll. They're going to call that on a moving screen on Plano. Again, it's always a subjective call on those moving screens. You love them when they go for you and not so happy when they go against you. But Highland Park pushing it in transition. Slow break here, looking for a little bit of early offense, but happy to hold things off and spin it around. That's Ford Jackson, 20 in the game for the first time this evening. Anthony Dewhurst and Henry Leinart. So Henry has scored a couple goals in the last game. Another goal, I believe, in the game before that. So getting rewarded with some playing time. Was a loose ball there. The Scots unable to pick up that ground ball. Anthony Dewhurst had a shot at it, but off his stick and out of bounds. They set up a 3-quarter ride. Kind of a soft ride here. Woods. There looks to be something, a piece of equipment on the grass there. That was Woods Harbison's glove that came off. So even if he was successful there, we would have lost the ball. But here's Plano going back to work down the right side. Up. low shot. Stephen Head was on that, following that all the way along. Referee blows the whistle in, and the ball squirts out of the Plano attackman's stick there. Rolls out of bounds. There is a yard sale check. That was Plano with a good ride there. Good hard check. He's able to dislodge the stick and the ball from the Scots. And back in business on the offensive zone. 60 seconds left on the shot clock. Going to work on the far side. That's Hayes Hammock, number 8, to meet him. 28, Drake Steinke in the game. Shot, good low shot by Stephen Head. Good low stop by Stephen Head, excuse me. Saw that all the way, was on it. Able to get out of the crease there in the required 6 seconds. There's a loose ball. Plano picks it up and shoots it. And good save there by Stephen Head, and Plano ends up shooting it out of bounds. So you saw Stephen Head in a little bit of trouble there. So once the goalie gets it, they have 6 seconds to either pass it or get out of the crease. And so he's had to get out of the crease and ended up losing the ball there. Corbin Gray sends it over to Woods Harbison, who points to his eyes after that pass, pointing to the sun, that the sun got in there and was into his field of vision. Of course, this field runs north and south, so the sun's starting to set to the camera's back, and that's the direction Woods was looking in.
Where you going?
Highland Park is offsides, so there again, just like Plano, when Plano was offsides, Andrew Gerson Haber went back onto the offensive zone to help out, but ball harmlessly got sent out to the sideline. So our second flag of the game, both of them have been offsides. Relatively clean game playing wise by both teams. No egregious checks or high sticks. No fouls called on any of those lines. Looks like Plano may have called a timeout, and we'll be back after this. Excuse me, that is the end of the first half. So we will be back to start the second half, and Plano will have the ball.
Also to shout out to Coach Watson on the sidelines.
Welcome back to the second half of action here at Plano High School. Highland Park Scots up 7-3. Goalie change for Highland Park. That's going to be 16, Mac Brooker in the game. And again, Plano's going to start with the ball man up here for 1 minute due to the offsides. So they are locking off number 22 there behind the goal. You'll see Hayes Hammock there behind the goal locking him off. So we're playing 5-on-4, and the 30-second technical foul has been released, and 6-on-6. So Highland Park does a good job to kill that penalty. And that was an unassisted goal by number 22 in Plano there. Really nice goal.
Plano Wildcats goal. That was number 22, Hudson Tiemann.
So Hudson had the ball.
His second on the night.
Hudson had the ball up there at X behind the goal and dodged up the right-hand hash. Got about 3 yards up past GLE and put a high shot on it. Mac, I'm not sure Mac ever saw that ball. He was going behind the cage like it went over the top, but it went in. So just the start there that Plano was looking for to start the half. Kind of a bully dodge there by Plano and able to win the face-off. So good start here for Plano in the second half. That's Davis Buckroyd out, picking up the ball. And now that's JJ. They're forcing the dodge down the alley. Redodge down that right alley. Gets to the inside. He's going to have a shot and just sends it wide. Back up by the Wildcats. 48 seconds left on the shot clock. Hutch Brooker does a good job there. Thompson Brainer. Good stick. John McHugh. Plano able to get inside. Quick shot. Left bottom of the goal. Just wide. Again, no shot clock reset, so 22 seconds left on the clock. .14 seconds left on the shot clock. There's JJ doing a good job forcing him wide. You can hear the countdown by the crowd. Good stop by Mac. So if you're a Scots fan, you definitely like to see Mac see one going into his stick. Hutch Brooker sends it up to JJ, quickly up to Woods Harbison, who's going to go early offense here. Probes a little bit. Spins it back up top. Benton Gordon in, and number 5, Corbin Gray. Corbin's on the near side. He's got a short stick on him. We'll see if he elects to go to work. He's going to send it back to the other side. That's Benton Gordon. He's got the LSM on him, but he's going to dodge him anyway. Working down that right side. Good job by the Plano Wildcats. Corbin's got some room. He's going left. Slide comes. Back to Gordon in the middle. Sends it over to Miller. Miller's working the left. He's got a little bit of room. Continues to go on the inside. Thought about the shot. Thinks otherwise. Over to Benton Gordon, who shoots it. Stopped by the Plano Wildcats.
Saved by Jake Nero.
Plano successfully clears. So Highland Park had a good possession there, got a couple of good opportunities. Benton Gordon ended up taking the shot. Plano closing the door on that. Davis Buckroyd out to meet Plano. Gets by him into the middle. Saved by Mac Brooker. That is not going to be an over and back because it hit off the goalie, so it's allowed to go back. There is a fight for the loose ball. Still on the ground. Plano's got a beat on it. They pick it up, moving swiftly into the offensive zone. So in the first half, where Highland Park was able to win a lot of those ground ball wars, Plano here comes up with the first big ground ball of the second half to give themselves another offensive possession. They ruled there that it was a shot clock reset on the shot. So Plano is down to 55 seconds on the clock. They officially got the ball back with about 20 seconds off the clock. Pass goes wide. Plano may keep it in. It's in. Does a good job there. 34 seconds. Lots of low passes here on both teams. Little unsettled early. Plano dodging into the middle. Doesn't hit anything. Doesn't hit the cage or Mac on a wide shot. So 22 seconds left on the clock. So that was just a big kind of bully dodge on the far side. Able to split a double team and get into the middle. Here's Hutch providing good defense for the Scots. Ball is down. That's going to be a procedural call on the Scots, which is going to reset the shot clock. So Plano was down to about 6 or 7 seconds left in the clock. They get a fresh 80. Highland Park's played a lot of defense here early in the third quarter. It's 7-4. Thompson Brainer with a really good check. Sends it up there to Hayes Hammock. Hayes can absolutely fly. One of the fastest kids on the field. Moves it up to Gerstenhaber. That was Woods to Gerstenhaber. Plano with a good job at preventing that fast break. Hayes just a sophomore, but again, one of the faster kids in the whole Highland Park program. And you give him a head of speed and some space, and he can make some things happen. Here goes Corbin Gray trying to get in to the inside. Down to Miller. Works it around X. Sending it up to Grady. Grady coming down the left side again. He's got a step. He's looking to feed there. Corbin's got a short stick on him. Backs up and dodges again into the middle. Plano does a good job on their short stick defensive midi. Number 5 there did a good job of standing Corbin up, forcing him to swing it wide. And again, maybe that sun was a little bit of a factor. Ball's pinned there on the corner. Their dangerous pass over there by the box. And Highland Park gets called with the push there. So dangerous passes over there at Plano. Whenever you're passing the ball over by the sub box, you have to be very careful as guys are coming in and out of there. And that's exactly what happened there. Highland Park almost opportunistically forced a turnover. Plano retains possession. Luke Rudder had a step on it. And that was a goal by number 24 for Plano.
Plano Wildcats goal. That was number 24, Nick Nero. And that's his hat trick.
So Luke Rudder had his stick on the ball. There was just unable to corral that loose ball, and Nick Nero was able to pick that ball up and put an absolute stinger shot on Mac Brooker for his third goal of the game. So certainly someone that Highland Park is going to have to pay attention to, and we'll be back after this. Coming back to action here with 4:46 to go in the third quarter. Plano has come out with 3 straight goals here to cut the lead to 7-5. Spencer Woolery looks like he may have gone early. And Plano continues their comeback, sees momentum here in the third quarter, continues to play offense, playing some make it, take it here. John McHugh out. It's going to be a tough matchup for John. We'll see if they slide early here. Highland Park continuing their man-to-man. Davis Buckroyd with a shot at the ground ball. Plano with another big ground ball. Luke Rudder out there to put pressure, but again, Plano seems to be winning all the ground balls here in the third quarter, resulting in additional possessions, which has resulted in at least 2 goals so far for them. Here's a shot. That sails wide. 23 seconds left on the clock. Highland Park in desperate need of a stop here. Their defense has been on the field a long time here in the third quarter. Plano continues to be patient, attacking the short sticks up top. Ball is down momentarily. Less than 10 seconds to go. Yeah, the sun is really starting to play havoc with these players. You can see them, especially the players looking back towards the camera angle. They just can't see the ball at all. That sun is setting low in the west, and it's right at that ball height there. So it shouldn't be a factor here in another 10 or 15 minutes, but we'll be well into the fourth quarter by then. So we'll have to see how it affects the goalies as well here in the late stages of the third and the fourth quarter. So Corbin Gray working the right side, turns the ball over there, was looking for Woods Harbison, and the pass just simply was too close to the goal, and Plano goalie able to spear that out of the air. Long cross over the top. 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the third quarter. So Plano can hold it here till about a minute and a half. So looks like they're going to go ahead and take a little air out of the ball here. Take some time off the clock. Into the middle they work. Again, Plano actively working those middies up top, playing 2-man game back and forth. Here's a skip coming across into the middle. Bounce shot wide. That's going to be Plano with the backup. Mack was giving chase and an attempt to win the ball back for the Scotties. 28 seconds left to go in the quarter, or excuse me, in the shot clock. High pass, that's going to be over the top. That's over and back. Miller's got it. They got numbers if they want it. They're pushing forward. Over to Andrew Gerstenhaber, gets inside and stonewalled by the Plano goalie. Just an absolute big save for Plano. And they're on the attack now.
Saved by 52, Jake Nero.
So Andrew Gerstenhaber had a good inside roll there, was able to get a good look on the goalie and went high to high. The goalie did a good job of just matching sticks. So he put his stick where Gerstenhaber was putting his stick and was able to get a stop. Here's a big bully dodge into the middle. And Plano cuts it to 1. That was number 65 for Plano with an unassisted goal.
Plano Wildcats goal. That was number 65, Jacob Zmekchek, to put us within 1.
So Jacob there came down on that far side and put a shoulder down and went 1-on-3 and was able to get to the inside. So Plano is roaring back here, 6-7. Highland Park desperately needs a face-off win. 8 seconds to go in the quarter.
It's a minute and 8.
That should be a trip, and a flag comes out as well. So costly mistake there for Plano. There was over a minute left there in the quarter. So costly mistake there for Plano just when they had the momentum going, and their defense playing well, and Highland Park a little out of sorts offensively. Here we get should be a trip with possession, I believe, coming up. That is indeed a trip with possession, so that'll be a full 1 minute penalty. So Highland Park will have possession here, about a minute to go. Up 7-6, and an opportunity here to get a goal back and steal a little momentum coming into the fourth quarter. We'll see if they're able to go ahead and punch one in. The offense has definitely looked a little stagnant here in the third quarter. There's Corbin Gray with the bounce shot. And good save by Plano. So Highland Park is, again, man up here. Lots of action out here as the long stick is desperately looking for someone to pass it to. And there it is. The ball is down. All right, so that's a loose ball push, so no foul there. 3.9 seconds to go in the quarter. And that'll be the last shot of the quarter. So that's how it ends. 7-6, penalty is released. We'll be back after this, playing 6-on-6. Welcome back to the start of the fourth quarter. Plano taking control of the third quarter, scoring three goals. Highland Park unable to find the back of the net there in that third quarter. Had a couple of good chances. One on the man up and one on a fast break opportunity. Unable to capitalize on either one. And Spencer Woolery will be out to take the face with Benton Gordon, number 9, your far side wing, and John McHugh, 12, your near side winger. There is a win by Spencer Woolery. Benton Gordon coming into the middle. He's going to have a shot. It's going to be high. Back up by Andrew Gerstenhaber. So another good look for Highland Park. Their Plano hedged and then went back to their attackman. And that left Benton Gordon with a step down from 10, but was unable to find the back of the net. Grady Gearing working left. And he's left-handed, so that's the way he enjoys working there. There's Miller coming into the middle, rolling back. He's going to have his hands free, and good slide and hedge there by number 13 on Plano. Able to recover back to his man. Andrew Gerstenhaber with the ball to Grady Gearing, unable to handle that low pass in the middle. Ball got flipped up in the air and pulled down by the Plano goalie. Soft ride here over the top. He's in trouble a little bit. They got him pinned on the end line. We'll see if they're able to get that ball loose. Flips it over, and a big opportunity there lost by Highland Park. They had the Plano defender pinned on the midfield line and just unable to dislodge that ball. JJ back. This is JD Pierce. Dodging left. Fans calling for the Plano midi to let one fly. Decided to hold up against it, and that's a soft bouncer that gets by Mac Brooker. So in baseball, they call that a ground ball with eyes. And here, number 7 able to put a ball in.
Plano Wildcats goal, that was number 7, J.D. Board.
It's a bit like a knuckleball there. I think that one just came out a little differently than what Mac was expecting. And that ball was, as I said, in baseball, sometimes they call those ground balls with eyes that get through the infield. That one able to find the back of the net on the stick side. Plano with the face-off win. Tied up here at 7-7. 10 minutes to go in the game. Working into the middle, rolls back to the side. Big shot. Mac was on that one. Goes out of bounds. No shot clock reset, so 59 seconds left on the clock. It's hard for you folks at home watching on the television to see the shot clock, so we'll try and keep you abreast of the time as it gets close. Plano, I'm impressed with their patience on offense. They seem very much in control of what they want to do and where they want to go, and playing at their own pace. Into the middle, bounce shot wide. Mac on that one as well. No shot clock reset there, so 30 seconds to go on the clock. Highland Park continuing to play in their, well, just as I said, about to continue to play in their man-to-man. Here they've come out in a zone look here, trying to slow this Plano offense down a little bit. So Highland Park in a zone. We'll see how Plano recognizes and attacks it. 5 seconds left to go in the clock. That's going to hit the shot clock reset. And Highland Park fortunate to get away with one there. Davis Buckroyd over running diagonally, able to successfully clear it up to Woods Harbison. So tied here, 7-7, with about 8.5 to go. Benton Gordon coming down the right alley. Finds Miller Merritt, who wants a pick. And here it is, coming up top. Fakes the shot, comes around, shoots it hard with the left bouncer. So good fake there by Miller. Able to keep the ball in his stick and then get his hands free. Nifty little play there by Miller. 38 to go on the clock. Andrew Gerstenhaber over there working up to Miller again. Miller seems to want to go to work here, looking aggressive on this offensive possession. Benton Gordon, we know he likes to get inside. Able to come back. And Miller again. He's got a step onto him. Comes into the middle. High bounce shot. Looks like that may have hit a stick on the way to the goal. Plano able to successfully clear and push down the left side. They've got numbers if they choose. They go ahead and back it out. Coach is calling yellow. Offensive personnel switching on to the field. And Plano is going back to work, methodically setting up their offense. There is a lost ball in the sun again. We've seen that a number of times, and the Plano player flipped the ball to his teammate, who absolutely just lost that 5-foot pass in the sun, unfortunately. Luckily for Plano, able to recover it. And the shadows are getting long, so you can always tell the longer the shadows of the players, the lower that sun is, which means it's going to be getting worse before it gets better. We don't know where it is, and then there it is. So Mac was able to get down on it and snuck through his legs there. And Plano.
Plano Wildcats goal was squeaked in by number 22, Hudson Teeman. That's his hat trick.
So Hudson's got a hat trick tonight. Highland Park has made a change at goalie, and Stephen Head has come back in. Stephen played the first half and is entering the game here. Big face-off win for Spencer Woolery. Man on. He is offsides, and there is the flag. So Highland Park getting bailed out again with a offsides. And they go. It's actually not over and back yet because they haven't got it inside the 30. So once you have possession and you cross the midfield, you can still go into the backfield if you haven't taken the ball below the 30-yard line there. So Highland Park had not taken the ball in below the 30, so therefore they hadn't established it in what is considered the offensive zone. So they, in fact, could have picked that ball up after it crossed back on the other side of the 50, but didn't look like all the players fully understood that rule. And Highland Park unable to keep possession, but got it here. There's Miller Merritt off the post, but they were rewarded back with the offensive possession. Miller Merritt again, and just stopped there by the Plano goalie. I thought that one had snuck through.
Saved by number 52, Jake Nero.
So Jake's playing very well. A couple of big stops here for the Scotties. Highland Park with a lot of pressure over there to the Plano player. They have him pinned on the box. We'll see if they go to pressure him. Plano escapes. They've got numbers. Big dodge into the middle, and a goal for Plano.
Plano Wildcats goal. That was number 65, Jacob Mekchek. Your score is now Plano Wildcats 9, Highland Park Scott 7.
So the Scotties stuck on the number 7 here in the second half. It is now 9-7. Plano's taking control of this game here in the second half, scoring 7 unanswered goals. Spencer Woolery with the face. That should be a push on Plano, and it is. So good win there by Spencer Woolery, able to win the clamp and then shield his man, the other face-off man. Here there was no possession, so the offensive and defensive players are having to go back behind the 30. Here's Grady Gearing with the good move. Sends it over to Woods Harbison behind. He's got his defender hung up here. Woods up, working up the right side, gets onto the inside, gets his stick there caught by the Plano. He's going to be on the side. We'll see if Plano gets through. And Highland Park there is going to get called with a push with possession, maybe a cross check. The flag came up. Coaches aren't happy with the call. Looks like they're sorting it out on the far side. We'll relay it to you as soon as we get the call. That's Grady Gearing, 38 in the box. Is going to be in there for a minute for a cross check.
Go Plano! Penalty on Highland Park. Plano will be man up.
So big defensive possession coming up here for the Scotties. That's your 4 poles. And Davis Buckroyd, your short stick in the middle. Be Davis's job to plug up the middle and come up and catch the shooter at the top. So Davis is going to be a busy man on this defensive stand. Plano working it around. Dodge in. Checked out. Ball is recovered by Plano. 45 seconds left in the clock. Penalty should be released at 20 seconds. So Plano has about 15 seconds left in the man up. Stephen Head with the save. Doesn't see it. Loose ball. Stays Plano. The shot clock is reset, but has to be close to 5 or 6 seconds left in the penalty. It's going to be released soon. Stick check by Thompson Brainer, and there is the release. So back to 6-on-6 for the Highland Park Scots. Davis Buckroyd alertly switches with J.D. Pierce there, getting off of 22. So good awareness there by Davis Buckroyd, getting off one of their better middies, allowing that to go to the LSM, which is where it should be. Plano with 45 seconds left in the clock, 2:59 in the game. I'd imagine they're going to take every second of this. They're going to have a good look here if they want it. Into the middle, ball is down. That is Thompson Brainer with the big ground ball. Swim dodge, or ball is loose. We've got a loose ball push on Plano, though, there. As Thompson was fighting for the ground ball, Plano leaned onto his back, was 4 or 5 steps out of the play, but that's routine call there for the Scots. Lots of pressure here for Plano. Benton Gordon coming over. Up there to Grady Gearing. It looks like Corbin Gray is going to get the go. He's coming in. Bounce shot just over the top. Ground ball is loose. Off of Plano. So really good play there by Benton Gordon. Benton understanding that Plano had hit it last. Shielded the man. There's that sun again. Ball is down. Grady Gearing in a fight, and Plano comes up with a big loose ball. Pushing it into the middle. They have numbers. And Highland Park back. Numbers going forward. So Benton Gordon's pushing it. It's a 4-on-3. He's going into the middle. He's going to shoot this one. No. Benton decides to hold off. Here's Woods coming right. Highland Park here with 1:12 left to go. Corbin Gray comes into the middle. Lefty shot off the post. And that's going to be a race out. Highland Park's going to win that. So great win out there by Thomas Kaufman. Corbin Gray half an inch from bringing the Scots within 1. They got to go quick. He's going to go again into the middle. They're going to call a hold on that. Highland Park retains possession. Fans not happy with that call. Benton Gordon coming down the right side, into the middle. Low shot goes wide. Andrew Gerstenhaber with the run out. Thomas Kaufman on the far side. Here's Miller running left. Thomas Kaufman gets one in with 20 seconds left to go. So it's 8-9. Highland Park Scots gets the critical goal here. 19.7 left in the clock. That was Thomas Kaufman, number 22 there with the goal.
Highland Park goal, number 22, Thomas Kaufman. That puts us within one.
Big face-off win big face-off coming up here for both teams. Spencer Woolery wins it forward. Will they have throws it in. They're going to play it. Miller Merritt misses the ball up top, unable to complete. Highland Park sends it back down. It's being batted back and forth, and that should do it. And your Highland Park Scots fall to Plano 9-8. We'll be back in a few minutes for the JV game.